Hello. Okay, I see that you're there. I see the viewers there, but now I don't. If you can hear me, can you go to your email and check for a link from Art Schultz at artschultz13@gmail.com for a link to your invitation? That should allow you to be a presenter as well in this presentation. Sorry, everyone, if this is being a little bit hard and tricky. We're giving a try. You got to try new things occasionally. Not everything works every time. We'll see how we go. I'm just seeing if I can adjust the settings to the Hangout. Okay, that's interesting. Just getting a message from Ms. Cohn that she's not seeing it on her end. I'm just gonna see what I can do to adjust the settings to the broadcast and see if we get anything better. All right. What I'm gonna. There's can you on the upper left corner you should be in for a chat? Does anyone see that? If you can, click in the blue and white chat bubble and see if you can chat into there. I'm currently trying to readjust the settings of chat and see if we can get Cindy involved so she can do her presentation. Sorry, this is taking this Hangout's proving to be a little bit too difficult.
Hi, can you hear me?
And while I'm doing, I'm very sorry this is taking its sweet time and taking things going in a second. We'll call it a day and try something else. Oh, I just heard something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to send the link out to everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, I just got a video call that made this, so it looks totally different from what was happening before.
Try doing the same thing I just did to that with the list that I had. So just 1 second.
But it won't connect to my camera. That's the problem. It says it doesn't detect a camera connected to your computer.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like, I have one. I'm gonna go to my settings and see if I can.
I just invited a bunch of other people to it. So on the top of the screen, you should have the settings gear at the top of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I'm in it right now. And it says camera problem. Hangouts does not detect a camera connected to your computer.
And you're in Chrome?
Yes.
Okay.
Always in Chrome.
Well, it may be the Google Voice and Video plugins not installed on your computer, which may be interesting. We'll work on that again in a minute. I'm just saying if anybody else jumps in now. I just sent out the list of email addresses to jump them into the presentation, so hopefully people will pick that up and be able to run with it.
Okay.
Just giving people another minute or two to check their email, or because I just did did what I did for you, Ms. Cowan, a second ago. So hopefully the rest of the list will pick it up and be able to jump in.
Okay.
Just going to send that invitation one more time. All right, this is being lots of fun. So now I just grabbed everybody's email addresses from one of our blog comment responses posts that we had in our spreadsheets. So I may have missed a couple people in there, because if they didn't do that assignment, do that blog post, I may not have grabbed their email.
Okay.
This might have turned into something that we need to try. How to doing it? I'm sorry. This is being copied to my YouTube channel, I believe.
Awesome.
Which will be fantastic, right?
Out all the experimental parts.
So anyway, it'll allow me to add YouTube content here, but exactly how I'd like it to. But we'll see how we go. So what I might do is I might just go ahead and do I was hoping that this would work out, is that we'd have everybody in. I see 6 viewers right now.
Okay.
5 viewers. No, they don't like me. Everybody's going away.
Hi,
We're not
guys.
really doing a whole lot. I'm going to try copying that link through on the main event page again and see if I can get everybody there.
So do you want to just record like a screencast of what you were going to talk about, and then they can access it whenever, if they're not here right now?
That's what
maybe we can have Cindy present during finals week next week sometime. Is Cindy here?
I can't tell. I'm getting. I'm seeing that other people here. On the main page, I can't hear anyone else. I'm really sorry.
Guys, if you go to the top and click the little microphone, you should be able to be heard. Potentially, that's how I got on.
All right. I might show. We can do a little bit of Photoshop, and if you can see it, that's fantastic. If you can't, I'll post the link later on to I'll post the link later on, and you'll have the YouTube version of it. I'll trim off the garbage at the beginning, and we'll see how we go.
Okay.
So I'm going to start sharing my desktop, and wow, we got a little bit of inception there. So I'll do my best to keep on going here. So when we were doing our scavenger hunt, we had some different textures that we were working with. I was making some things up here in Photoshop earlier, so I already had Photoshop open. I'm gonna close that PSD file because it should already have that done. But what I want to talk about today is how to conduct photo montages without destroying your work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open a file, and I'm just going to, and one of the images. So here's one of those lovely little images back when we still had blossoms and everything was fantastic. I'm going to need to open up a second image, and I was hoping to have that all prepped, but of course, I haven't had a chance to hunt that one down yet. So what I was going to do is I was going to just open up one more image. For me, grab one more image for my Flickr account. Of course, I haven't had a chance to hunt that one down yet. So what I was going to do is I was going to just open up one more. So image. I've got one image here. For me, grab one more image for my Flickr account. For me, grab one more image for my Flickr account. Okay. If you are just jumping in and you're getting, I'm starting to hear more people broadcasting. If you can try to mute your microphone just for the second. Let me just see if I can pull that page back up because I minimized it. All right. Let me just see and figure out what's going on here. Hello, are you there?
Looks like we have Mr. Schultz. Are you there? It looks like you left.
For there for a second. I'm back again, I think. So I see that you're back in. I'm sorry that I lost you for a second. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again, and we'll go back into it. All right. So what I was looking for in my Flickr account was just another image to montage into that same image. So normally I'd want something a bit prettier than what I had. And I'm just quickly scrolling through some of my old Flickr stuff. I was actually looking for that image, the same headshot as that I had there. And of course, I am not. So I'm going to grab something else. All right. Well, I've already got something else downloaded in my in my Google Drive. So I'm just going to find one more image. I'm sorry, I should have gotten this up ahead of time. The Hangouts here. So I've got another image here. I'm just going to go roll with this one. I'm going to take that image. I'm going to drag it over my Photoshop icon to open the second image. So now I have image 1 and I have image 2. All right. So what I'm going to try to do is create a montage between these two images without destroying any content. I'm going to drag one. I'm going to undock one of the images from the top of the toolbar here, and I've got a background layer over here in my layers palette. So to show my layers, I've got it sitting over here on the hand. This one. I'm going to I've got my background here over my Photoshop icon to open the second image. Now I have image 1 and I have image 2. All right. So what I'm going to try to do is create a montage between these two images without destroying any content. I'm going to drag one. I'm going to undock one of the images. In. Can you please mute your microphone? All right. Thank you. So I've got two layers with the same image. I've got two layers with my one Photoshop file with two images on separate layers. So if I'm going to close the eye, I can see see one layer versus the other. Now, I don't want to have this have both images messing around, but I don't want to destroy anything either. First thing I'm going to do here is I want to create a layer mask. And what a layer mask does is allows me to, just kind of like if you're painting and you put some masking tape over your canvas, putting a layer mask allows me to peel up that masking tape later on and just reveal parts of it. But in Photoshop, you're not destroying anything in the process. So here I'm going to add, I'm going to select my flower layer here. Actually, I might swap that around. I'm going to duplicate my background layer here. I'm going to get rid of my background layer because I don't really need it. And I'm going to rearrange this layer over the top. I'm going to hide that top layer here for a second. I'm going to stretch this top layer to make it fit the other things. So what I want to do while I'm doing this is free transform, which is my computer's a little bit laggy. The Hangout that's being hosted. So I'm going to hit the free transform, and it brings up these handles around the edges of my my image here. So now I'm just going to stretch this out so it fits the contents of my image. When I'm done with that, I'm going to hit the return or enter key to tell Photoshop that I'm happy with that transform. All right, so I've got this layer on the top, my background copy here. I've got my imported floral layer here, and now I'm going to add a layer mask to this background copy. So the layer mask is still in the layers palette at the very bottom. It hasn't done anything yet because I need to actually paint on this layer to make it do anything. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my colors over on the far left are set as default foreground and background colors. But I want to use the side arrow to swap them to black over white. Now I'm going to grab the paint bucket tool and tip the paint bucket with black paint in it into the background layer mask. It should disappear, and that's good. While this layer mask here is still selected, I'm going to switch to the paintbrush, and then I'm going to swap from black on top to white on top. Now, with the magic of Photoshop, I'm going to use my paintbrush to reveal parts of that image. Now, this may not be the greatest example of what you can do with a layer mask, but you can get the point here. We can play around with, we can paint in objects as we want it to work. If I make a mistake, all I need to do is change my colors back, and I can edit out the edges. But unlike the eraser tool, I'm not destroying anything. If I use the eraser tool to do the same thing, I would lose everything. I can also, just like an airbrush, I can change around how much of it I'm taking away as I go too, because this works in shades of gray. So I can paint in with a little bit of black and just bring in parts of that image. I can change the size of my brush by right-clicking, but not when my computer is being this laggy. I can also do that up here and change the size of my paintbrush in the top navigation bar. I can also change the hardness of that paintbrush if I want a crisper blend to the edge. All right. So the nice part here is that we can take two images that we've already already have, and make them into one image without destroying any work. If I eventually decide I don't really like my layer mask, I can remove the layer mask altogether. So I can disable the layer mask, and there it's back. I can re-enable it, but I can also just delete the layer mask if I decide that didn't work out. But the nice part about layer masks is that you can just change colors of paint, and you can bring back pieces of that work. And since my paint is not 100% opaque there, it's not going to do a whole lot. The big thing here is play around with your hardness settings. I normally think my paintbrush to be on a fuzzy edge, so to have a soft edge. All right, so I'm going to jump back into when I'm finished with this, all I have to do is do a save as, jump down to convert that to a JPEG. I'm going to put that on my desktop. And I'm just going to jump back over to the Hangout, hopefully. So all you'd have to do there is take an image and play around. Take two images and play with it, and add those images to our Schoology feed. You could also add these images into uh, into this this Hangout feed if you'd like to as well. Ms. Cohen, do you want to mic?
Yeah, I've been talking with Cindy, and she said that she's ready to present now, so we could all give the mic over to her, and she said she figured out how to do it, and she can present.
Awesome. That is so cool. I'm glad this is starting to finally work out kind of how we wanted it to work.
So
Yeah.
Mr. Schultz,
Yes.
how do you screen share your screen?
So on the icons on the upper left,
Yes.
green one with a white arrow.
Oh yeah.
Then when it comes when that next window pops up, you're going to select entire screen.
Okay, got it. Can you see?
I can see your screen right. I could see your screen just then. Yes, I'm going to mute my microphone so you take over.
I think
Okay, so
you have the final say over who is presenting their screen, I think you're like the master of the screen. So on the left, it says the control room. I think that you have to give over permission to her to show her screen, but I'm not sure.
huh?
No, as long as she's speaking, she has control over the window.
Okay.
She'll take over if she's speaking.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right, take it away.
It's kind of lagging, but can you see? I can't. I can't hear anyone.
I can see you, and we can all hear you. We've just muted our microphones so that you have full control.
Okay, so I'll start. And so my artist was Trey Ratcliffe, and this is one of the photos he took. So Trey Ratcliffe was born on 7th July 1971. He has various jobs, including writer, public speaker, artist, photographer, and so on. But he's more famous for his photographies rather than writings and like artistic works. He mainly uses Sony A7R, which is the photo I put right there, but in the bottom. So his style of works are, he's mostly famous for HDR, which is highly dynamic range. He emphasizes on colors, and he uses Photoshop to make unrealistic landscapes, and he likes to put more extraordinary stuff in his landscapes to make it more ideal of what he's thinking of the landscape. So he usually takes nature photos or city photos. So this is one of his nature landscapes. As you can see, there is a reflection in the river, which makes the photo look more balanced because there's one in the top and one in the bottom. And this color of the sky it has pinkish color, and then the sky blue color. While I was looking through his photos, I figured out that he really likes to put emphasis on the sky colors, because like he likes to use more gradient colors and many different colors in the sky to make it look more unrealistic and more, yes, dramatical. The second photo, you can see the S-curve in the river. It makes your eye to follow the S-curve, and it leads you to the mountain in the left top corner. And the mountain is located in one of the rule of third line, which makes the mountain look more emphasized as well. So the composition of the photo makes the whole photo look more balanced and full. This is another reflection photo. So he used the reflection in the river again, and he used more Photoshops to emphasize the reflection. And similar to the first photo I showed you, it makes the photo look more balanced. And this one, it has a lot of S-curves, as you can see in the river. It leads you to look at all the cities and the main little farms in the photos. And the whole city is located in between two lines of rule of third. So it makes the photo look more composite, I guess, and then more full. And since the point of view of the photo is taken from top to the bottom, the photo look more smaller than the real size. So there was point of view of skills went in there, and he emphasized the sky again, and there is a contrast between the mountain color and the sky color, which he explained in his photo descriptions. So there are a few contributions he made. So first one is photo walking around the world. So he likes to write books about traveling around the world. So while writing that book, he decided to take some photos, which is called Photo Walking Around the World. And he gathered some of his friends to he actually went around from Asia, Europe to Africa, and he came back to Asia, and yeah, he just took the photos around the world. And fourth on Lake Austin, this is the first contribution he made as a photographer, because this is when he firstly became famous. He contributed by sending his one of the HDR photos, and he really got famous in this incident. And adventuring on Antarctica, as I said, he really likes traveling around the world, and Antarctica was one of his bucket list country. So he went there and he took some photos. And the world we design, the technology and beauty in photography, he is also a public speaker. So he likes to discuss about new technologies and photographies. And while in the speech he said, he concludes that the beauty in photography is, well, you show the things that you want to see. Like, so he tries to show everyone what he thinks of the ideal landscape is through Photoshop and photography. These are some city landscape photos he took. As you can see, the lights are really emphasized, and the colors are also very emphasized here. So yeah, and then this is another point of view photo where he took from the top to the bottom. The city looks smaller than what it really is, and the colors are also emphasized. Cities are also in line with rule of thirds, and the sky colors range from blue to violet. This is another photo that he took. It shows a reflection of another building in a building. So the colors are really emphasized here, and he puts highlights in some of the buildings, whereas there are some shadows and dark sides in the reflection as well. So few works that I tried to make looking like Trey Ratcliffe's works are. So when he takes landscape photos, he mainly focuses on sky and the nature color, which I have mentioned before, and so I tried to put more emphasis on the sky color, which was adding more blue color there, and the green colors in the nature. The right side, the photo, so using the rule of third line, I tried to match the house thing there, the Korean house thing, by the rule of third, and the colors of the sky, I tried to add blue in there, but it was really hard because I never tried doing Photoshop like this, but I really tried to put emphasis in the sky color there. So a few of the city landscape photos that Trey Ratcliffe took have many comparisons. So he usually liked to put some of the cloudy and like sad city looking photos, and on the other hand, he also likes to put bright colors of cities. So I took two city landscapes, one of which is the cloudy one that I'm showing you right now. I kind of desaturated the color to make it more look like cloudy, and I added some cloud in the background with a Photoshop. And this is one of the landscape photos I took. And on the other hand, I took this one with more colors and more bright color of clouds. And as you can see, I really emphasized the blue building colors, and then the green nature. And
Cindy, we've lost your audio feed. Can you unmute your microphone?
I was mute for the whole time. I can't hear you.
Go.
It's working right. Is it working right now?
Not very.
Cindy, you just got muted for the past like 2 slides. That was it.
two slides.
Yeah, if you could back up like to the previous picture. No, not that one. Number 16. We heard, yeah, number 16 is where you got muted. So if you could just carry on from there.
Okay.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay. So this photo, as the previous photos, I emphasize more on sky and the green color in the bottom and the flowers. Yes. And then this one, it originally had no clouds at all in the sky, and the color of the sky was like white. But I changed the color of the skies, and I added some more clouds, and I tried to make the right stand-in rule of third, so make the composition of this photo look more full and balanced. This one, so Trey Ratcliffe also takes photo at nights, and he usually, as I said previously a lot, he likes to emphasize on the sky. So I decided to take a photo where the sky is really emphasized. And one of his photos, he used 5 different colors on his sky, and I tried to kind of mimic that, but that was really hard. So I tried 2 colors, violet from blue, in the background, and also I also used the rule of third here and the S-curve in the mountain to make it look more full. Lastly, this is another photo. So while using HDR skills, he also likes to use some kind of mysterious looking photos. So he tries to use a lot of fogs or something like that. And then while emphasizing on color, so he actually increased the color balances while adding more fogs and different colors in the background as the sky. So I tried to do that by I increased the color of the traditional house step thing. I increased the color there, and I increased the color in the background where the trees are, and then in the end, and then I added the sky, which has like 3 different colors in the back, and then I added the fog, which made the photo look really mysterious and all that. But yeah, so that was it, and this is my bibliography. Thank you. Can you hear me? Oh my god.
Fantastic work.
Thank you.
It's really unnerving when you try to do this.
I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me, so I was trying to check it out. Yeah.
No, I heard everything. It sounded great. Could you talk about how you respond to Trey Ratcliffe's work a little bit, like how his work affected you or what made you interested in him?
So I was originally interested in HDR photos before because I really like emphasizing colors and like using Photoshops to make the photo that I really like, the scene that I think the ideal scene. So when I first got Trey Ratcliffe, I was thinking that this should be like immediately I was thinking Trey Ratcliffe gonna be my artist. And while doing this project, I felt that it was harder than I thought at first because first I have to match all the composition to make the photo itself look really full while using some of the camera skills to make the colors look more stand out, and then use Photoshop to make it look more idealistic. So while using this project, I learned how hard that is and how the composition really matters, because if you take a photo without much of composition in it, then even though you use Photoshop later on, it's not gonna make the photo look much better. So I learned how the composition it's really important. I'm done.
Awesome. Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Great job, Cindy.
Congratulations, great work. That was definitely a difficult task to do, but I think you really did a great job. I love your photos, especially that last one you did where you're kind of balancing the highly saturated areas with this sort of mysterious foggy feeling. Yeah, it turned out really nicely.
Thank you.
You did a great job. Hey, my little thing that I did on Photoshop was mainly for you to have a try. If you want to try to play around with 2 photos and uh, and see if you can have a montage use a layer mask. But this is a little bit of an exercise that if you've got time over the next few days to try it, I'd love to see something in the Schoology feed as to you guys giving it a try.
Okay, I think we're done for now.
Yeah,
So you said this will go up on YouTube, and so people can rewatch it and see, like go through the steps again.
that's
And
that's the plan. Yeah, I'll go and make sure that that's going to happen, and I will put the links to that back into Schoology for you, and they'll also be in this feed from the photography class Hangout on Air.
okay, wonderful. Well, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Mr. Schultz.
Thank you, everyone, for the technical difficulties and persevering through something. All
Great.
right, well, we'll see you hopefully back at
Okay.
everyone.
Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.